Hey everyone, it's FinalRound and my name is Jordan, and we are off to the semifinals for the Olympic men's basketball. That little note I gave after the picks in the last video by taking the first quarter spread of the underdog hit for 3 out of the 4 games in that last set of games. The one that did not hit was clearly Brazil. So whoever in the Discord, I forgot who it was, but whoever made that mention, shout out to you. That made a lot of people money. Some people took just the straight up money lines for the underdogs in the first quarter, and that hit for 3 out of the 4 games. So just another note, the underdog for the first quarter spread has been hitting pretty well in the Olympics. But let's jump into these games. We have 2 of them, 2 rematches, because these teams played in the same group. I wish they would have switched things up a little bit, but it's just the way things fell. So it's Germany versus France as the first game. My first pick is going to be Franz Wagner over 19.5 points. This is at -125. He played 37 minutes in the elimination game, and he also took 17 field goal attempts versus Greece. So just saying that he's going to play, 35 plus minutes and take a high volume of shots means that his floor is going to be very high here, and it's a safer bet for us. So in that game against Greece, he did score 18 points. He came up shy of this line, but we do have a good sample size against France. They played each other in exhibition and they played each other in group play. So in the exhibition, he scored 17 points in just 20 minutes against them. It wasn't a full France team. I believe Wembanyama wasn't playing in that game, and they played another game where the Wagner brothers were out and Wembanyama played. So just a small sample size there, 17 points in 20 minutes. And then in group play, he scored 26 points on them in 33 minutes on 8 of 15 shooting. So definitely mismatched there for Franz Wagner. I imagine he'd have someone like Evan Fournier, Nicholas Batum guarding him. So good matchup for Franz Wagner as long as he's not taking it all the way to the rim, where you're going to have Rudy Gobert, who hasn't been playing much, or Victor Wembanyama defending the rim. So that's Franz Wagner over 19.5 points at -125. This next pick is going to be an under. I know I took an under last time and people weren't happy about it because they say they don't take unders, but they took it anyway, and it didn't hit. But I have had some videos in the Olympics where unders have done great, where the unders have swept. So I'm going to continue with that trend, and this is going to be Victor Wembanyama under 32.5 points, rebounds, and assists at -110. So the breakdown of this against Brazil, he had 30 points, rebounds, and assists in 31 minutes. Did not go over. Against Japan, he went over, but he needed overtime. He had 9 PRA in overtime, but in just regulation, he had 26 PRA against Japan, who is not a very strong opponent. Then against Germany, he had 27 PRA in 28 minutes, and Canada, he had 24 points, rebounds, and assists in 27 minutes. So he has not gone over 32.5 PRA this entire Olympics. He has been rebounding well. He has some games where he gets a decent amount of assists. But scoring just has been pretty inconsistent, up and down. They did drop his line a little bit from where it was at, but it seems like when he doesn't score well, he gets a decent amount of assists. When he does score well, he doesn't pass the ball as much. And in that last game versus Canada, his teammates just took off. There was a few guys who just normally don't score much who got really hot, and that's why they won that game. Victor Wembanyama really didn't score that well. He mainly was just rebounding, playing defense, and getting assists. So for a line that he has not hit this entire Olympics against a strong Germany team, I'm going to go with the under 32.5 points, rebounds, and assists at -110 for him. And then as far as the prediction goes, a lot of people are going to be on France because they just beat Canada, but they did have some outlier performances from some guys who normally don't score much. They just got really hot, and then they played a lot in that game, and they just kept scoring. So my prediction is going to be that they cool down a little bit, and Germany takes over this game and wins. The spread is -5 at -112, so I'm going to go with Germany at the -5 spread for them to move on to the gold medal game. If you guys could, please like the video, and if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. If you have a little bit of extra time, could you leave a comment for the algorithm? You could just say anything and it helps. This next game is going to be the one everyone's going to be watching, Serbia versus the United States. I have Nikola Jokic. I had him under 40.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Which he had gone under in every single game in this Olympics, except for the overtime game. He needed overtime to go over. So that's one to consider if you want to look at it, 40.5 points, rebounds, and assists on the under. But I decided to move it over just to specifically rebounds for him at 11.5. Under 11.5 rebounds is at -115, and this is also a scorcher on Underdog. So if you still use Prizepicks and you have access to something like Underdog that gives you alt lines and alt payouts, Prizepicks is ripping you off pretty much with the odds, the actual odds, and then the payout that they give you does not match what the payout should be. You're always getting less. They're not giving you a good deal. For the payouts that they have, you need kind of like -130 to -135, almost -140 plays consistently, but they're not giving you that. They're giving you a lot of +100 plays and stuff like that for a lower payout than you would get on a sports book. That's why alt lines have become a huge thing when ChalkBoard came in. I know I'm going on a rant right now, but with Underdog Fantasy giving alt lines and alt payouts, ParlayPlay is also doing it for the Olympics. It's better to get that higher payout and not get ripped off just because Prizepicks is the big dog when there's better options out there. So 11.5 rebounds under is a scorcher on Underdog. It's close to a regular payout on sportsbooks, -115. You know, normally you get that both ways. So the reason why I like the under on Jokic rebounds is he had done great against all the other teams except the United States. He got 5 rebounds against the United States, and I'm going to break this down, and I feel like when we get to a blowout, if it becomes a blowout, and it's just out of hand, they're going to sit Jokic and not let him play to, boost his stats or anything like that, because he probably doesn't care about his stats and he needs to stay healthy for the next NBA season. Unlike Bruno Caboclo, who I had the under on when it was a major blowout, they were kind of giving him some open shots all over the place. He was kind of doing whatever he wanted, and they weren't playing too hard, expending too much energy to try to stop him like they were in the first half. So with Jokic, I'm not afraid of that happening with him stat padding, because there's no reason to. Caboclo, he could stat pad because then maybe he gets a call from an NBA team or something like that. So the United States, in the entire Olympics, they are shooting 55.4% from the field. That is a very good field goal percentage, which obviously limits rebound opportunities. And against Serbia, they shot 62%. Part of that has to do with, Kevin Durant just going ballistic and not missing. So 62% from the field, and that's where he got 5 rebounds. So to compare, he went up against Australia. They shot 50% from the field, and he got his 12th rebound right near the end of the game. And Australia's bigs obviously are nothing like the United States. They had Jock Landale to sit there and box him out. But I feel like the United States are going to make a concerted effort to box out Jokic, especially for offensive rebounds, and have other guys come in and get those rebounds like LeBron did in the first game, or Drew Holiday is really good at that. And then when he got a ton of rebounds, he played against South Sudan. They shot 42% from the field, and then Puerto Rico 33% from the field. So we're going to have the United States coming in here with an average of 55%. I don't know if they'll shoot 62% again, but they are going to shoot a very high percentage just because they have so many great players, and it's going to be more difficult to get rebounds against the United States with their bigs and the high field goal percentage. So rebound chances will be down. So before I get into this last pick, I want to shout out my partners, Underdog Fantasy, Sleeper, ParlayPlay, and ChalkBoard. Use promo code FinalRound11 on any of these. They'll match your first deposit up to $100. There are links in the description. I'll take you straight there with the promo code. Thank you to anyone who uses those. And then this this last pick is going to be a United States player. I'm actually surprised they don't have Bam Adebayo lines out. They're like hiding him after they put out his lines for that last game with that 4.5 rebounds, and like he almost got it in like the first couple minutes being out there. He got 4 rebounds. So they're staying away from Bam. I think they're scared of putting his lines out. But I do like LeBron James over 7.5 assists. This is at plus 100. This is also a scorcher on Underdog, and it's a regular line on Prizepicks. That's why I'm telling you, you're getting ripped off if you're on Prizepicks. The best thing about Prizepicks is the deals that they have, the reboots that they have. I would say the tacos, but those are traps. So like Flex Friday and stuff like that are all great. But as far as payouts go, yeah, you're getting a plus 100 line that it's not going to pay out like plus 100. So LeBron James, why do I like his assists? So the opener, he got 9 assists against Serbia, and against Brazil in just 17 minutes, he also got 9 assists. Puerto Rico, 8 assists, and then he had 5 versus South Sudan. So I'm a Cavaliers fan. I've watched LeBron James his entire career, and something that I've learned about him, something that I've noticed about him when it comes to like playoffs or very important games, like a game 1, he typically likes to get his teammates involved because he understands if his teammates get hot, then the game's going to be much easier for him. He will take the efficient shots. He's not going to force anything if he can find his teammates open. He used to get made fun of early on in his career for passing up the late game shots because he had an open teammate and he'd pass it over to him, and that guy would either make it or miss it. When you have a guy like Kobe who's not looking to pass it at all, he's taking that shot. So LeBron's just a little bit different mentally, and it showed with the opener. He wanted to get his teammates going. He got 9 assists. You have an elimination game. He comes out. He gets 9 assists in 17 minutes against Brazil. So I'm looking for LeBron James come out again, get his teammates involved, get them going. He'll also, get the easy layups when he has it. He'll take the open shots when he has it. But when he's driving and he gets all the attention, he's going to pass the ball to all-star players, and they're going to knock down those shots. So I do like, especially on the sports book, for even money at plus 100, and the scorcher on Underdog giving you a little bit of a boost of a payout. I do like LeBron James to get over 7.5 assists. So I do have a Discord if you'd like to discuss lines further. The link is in the description. There's conversation going on about baseball, about the other Olympic sports, women's basketball, all kinds of stuff, and it's free. You can just hop on in there and join the community, people showing their slips, their research, and all that good stuff. And as far as a recap goes, I had Dennis Schroeder over 7.5 assists. He ended up with 8, and then that's where that was a minus 135 play, and that should be the regular play on Prizepicks, but they bumped it up to an even 8. So you would push on it if you played it on Prizepicks, but if you yeah, it's just the more and more I look at Prizepicks compared to sports books, it's just it's not good, especially when it comes to baseball. If you guys do total bases, a lot of those plays are plus money plays, and they're ripping you off on that. I did have Greece at plus 8.5. They did not cover the spread, and I did make an unofficial pick, but I did talk about how all of Giannis's lines were really, really high, and he would need to play like the perfect game in order to hit it. He did go under all those, but I didn't make that an official pick or anything. But if you took that note and you took his unders, you would have done well. And then Australia versus Serbia, I had Patty Mills over 15.5 points. He almost hit this in the first half. I think is it either the first quarter or first half. He went off pretty much, and he hit this pretty quickly, and I felt good about that read. And then I had Jokic over 11.5 rebounds, and that was plus 105. And like I mentioned, he got the 12th rebound late in the game, and then overtime just helped them go even higher with rebounds. My prediction was Australia plus 7, and I believe they did cover because I felt like they were the better team. I thought that they would be favored, and they did have a 24-point lead at one point. They just blew it, and it went into overtime. So I did mention the money line at plus 240 could be a play, and that would have missed because they ended up losing in overtime. And then Canada versus France. This is where France went off. I had RJ Barrett over 17.5 points. He finished right at 16, one shot away. Still shot very efficiently. The read was there. The volume just was not there. Shea was doing all he could. But they just couldn't hang on. The prediction for that was Canada at minus 7.5, and they lost just overall to France because France got really hot. And then USA versus Brazil, I had Bruno Caboclo under 22.5 PRA. Plus 100, and this is where I was explaining how he was at 10 PRA in the first half, but as soon as the second half came around, he just kind of started getting whatever he wanted. They weren't really resisting too much at that point. The U.S. had their blowout, and he was just getting as many shots up as he could, the stat boost. And I should have thought of that even though the United States, when in a blowout, when they're going to have great players still on the floor, those great players aren't going to want to get injured, try and take a charge or go up and block a shot in midair and collide with someone. They're going to let them take the shot because they're up by 30 points. So Bruno did go off there in the second half. And then I had Bam Adebayo over 4.5 rebounds, and that hit pretty easily. I wish they would give us that one again. I'd probably be at 5.5, but they're probably a little bit afraid since he came out just grabbing everything really quickly. The props went 4 for 6. I did have Brazil plus 27. That missed. The money lines did not do good, but with the money lines, I'm really just guessing based off of what I saw. The in-depth research is going into the props because that's what I'm used to doing, and I've done for the longest time. But that little note with the first quarter for the underdogs spread went 3 for 4. And if you did the money lines, you went 3 for 4 as well, and you got a pretty nice payday. So France, the first quarter money line, I think it's at plus 1.5. So kind of just a 2-point lead. I'm not sure if that one's worth it. You'd be better off just going with the France money line for the first quarter. And then the one with the USA and Serbia actually looks pretty good. I think it's like plus 7.5, like 8 points for them to keep it within 8 in the first quarter. That might be worth it for Serbia against the United States. But that's all up to you. I know this video is getting pretty long. I want to get it out. But because it's the day of, they didn't drop the lines last night. They dropped them today. And luckily I had today off from work. So gonna get this edited and get it out to you. God bless you all. It's Final Round. My name is Jordan. I will catch you on the next one. Bye.